This is Michael McEvoy, and we're going to talk today about the Metabolic Healing Health Screening Package. I've been using this health screening package with my clients in my nutrition consulting practice for many years, and this is my number one go-to test package for identifying a whole variety of nutritional factors, physiological imbalances, in order to get a nutritional protocol constructed that is highly individualized and is going to be right for the person to get back to health as quickly as possible. So there is a tremendous need for a comprehensive health screening test today. It's important to point out that most practitioners are only looking at one type of test for an analysis, and there can be many different types of imbalances and dysfunctions that can arise in the body, an endless amount in fact. We can look at things related to adrenal and thyroid dysfunction, metabolic imbalances, food-related deficiencies, liver and gallbladder activity, kidney, pH, blood sugar handling, nutrient deficiencies, toxicity, on and on and on and on. The question is, how can we assess all of these factors with only one type of a screening tool? Well, the answer is you can't, and that is why I've developed my health screening package, because it really is a comprehensive set of the three most important tests that I have found to evaluate all of these different factors and more for any individual I'm working with. So the Metabolic Healing Health Screening Package is a comprehensive evaluation tool that utilizes three extremely important tests. The first is the Metabolic Typing Assessment, and you may have heard about Metabolic Typing through either Dr. Mercola or Dr. Oz, or even Oprah has her take on Metabolic Typing now. Metabolic Typing is not new. It's been around for many decades. It's a compilation of very serious clinical nutritional work and research. And I use the original system of metabolic typing. This is William Walcott's Health Excel system. I've found this to be by far the most accurate system of evaluating a person's metabolic type to identify their food and nutrient requirements. The second test we're going to look at is the functional blood chemistry analysis. And a routine blood test can provide a tremendous amount of information that can investigate the health and the function of so many different bodily systems, organs, nutrient deficiencies, various pathways in the body. Third test that I use is a powerful biopsy known as the hair tissue mineral analysis. And with this particular test, we evaluate the status of 11 nutrient minerals. We look at heavy metal toxicity, and by looking at the status of mineral relationships, we can ascertain important information about adrenal and thyroid activities, digestive functions, and many other unique things that can pop up with a hair test. Let's take a look at our metabolic typing assessment first. Okay, so check it out. This is the Health Excel Advanced Program Metabolic Typing Assessment Report. Folks, this is the original system of metabolic typing developed more than 35 years ago. And this is a 22-page report, and you can see here, we're going to look at page 3, as this is where the raw data results are actually found. And as you can see here, we got some important information. We get these different scores, these percentages, and this is the scores of your autonomic nervous system function, which plays a very important role in nutrient and food metabolism in the body. And we also have the scores of the intracellular oxidation, which is the rate of glucose utilization in the cells. This also plays a key role in understanding your metabolic type and your type of metabolism. We see that this person has a very high fast oxidation score of 59%, and that indicates that this person is a fast oxidizer dominant. This person is in protein type metabolism. They require a very high amount of animal protein and animal fat, relatively a smaller amount of carbohydrates and sugars in the diet, much smaller. And with your metabolic typing assessment, you get food charts, guidelines, meal plan recommendations. In this 22-page Health Excel report, there's also a lot of other important information which you're going to get. You're going to get information about dental health, dental toxicity, blocking factors, how to really dial in the diet, what to do about weight loss, what to do about supplementation for your metabolic type, how to overcome some of these obstacles and blocking factors and toxicities. Is really an excellent overall assessment that's included with your metabolic typing report. Okay, and then the second test that we see here as part of the Metabolic Healing Health Screening Package is the functional blood chemistry analysis. Now, this is very different than the type of blood chemistry analysis that a physician is doing. Physicians looking for diseases, and they're usually looking for these diseases that are outside this very wide laboratory reference range. So you can't really use a laboratory reference range. You have to create your own reference range, and so you need an expert to analyze a blood test. This is just basic blood chemistry, folks, but there's so much information that you can obtain by looking at routine blood chemistry. If you live in the continental United States, you can order a very comprehensive blood test from a direct-to-consumer company. I like using Life Extension. You can get this exact same blood test for $47. You just walk into your local LabCorp. So what do we find here? This individual has a number of patterns that are showing up, which you see highlighted in yellow there. So we see the elevated uric acid is likely an indication of inflammation, very possibly gastrointestinal inflammation, as elevated uric acid is associated with mycotoxins and fungal metabolites. We also see that this individual has a very low BUN, blood urea nitrogen, and this is an indicator of dietary protein deficiency. We see that this chloride and CO2 relationship, the low chloride, relatively high CO2, is a strong indicator of low gastric acid. And so, of course, you need to have proper stomach acid to digest your protein, to assimilate B vitamins and nutrients and minerals from your diet. We also see that on this blood test, individual has a decreased alkaline phosphatase. This particular enzyme, when it's low, is strongly suggestive of a zinc deficiency, which is a very important trace mineral. This is just the first page of the Life Extension report. We get a tremendous amount of information just by looking at these values. Second page of the report, we see that the cholesterol values are elevated at 333. This suggests some type of inflammation is very probable. We also see at the same time that the white blood cell count is decreased, and this means that the immune defenses have been weakened. We see that the monocytes are very high at 17. We typically don't want to see those higher than 7. And when we see a high monocytes together with an elevated uric acid from the previous page, this is a major indicator of GI inflammation. GI inflammation is very probable. So you can see that on this routine blood test, we get a lot of information about what is going on with a person. How can we get a nutritional protocol going right away? We know that this person needs protein, they need digestive support, probably need some hydrochloric acid and pepsin to support their stomach digestion. They're going to need to clean up the gut, clean up the toxicity in the intestines, and we're going to look at blocking factors that are going to be causing a lot of these things. Okay, and our third health screening package test is the hair tissue mineral analysis. This is a type of a test that I've been using in my practice for the past 8 years. I've analyzed thousands of hair tests. This is one of the most important types of tests to use when following nutritional protocols. You want to see what is working. You want to see how effective your protocols are, what's coming out of the body over time. It's really amazing. You do these hair tests every 3 to 4 months, which I've been doing on myself and I recommend for others. You really begin to appreciate the deeper patterns that are starting to take place. The good thing is that we can see what the current level of excretion are of certain minerals, as well as what the previous test had indicated if you've done a previous hair test before. And so, for example, here we see that the previous copper level was 1.9, so it was relatively normal. And then all of a sudden, do a protocol, the copper level shoots up to 6.1. And we see the zinc is, quote, chasing after the copper because the zinc and copper are antagonists. So we know the person's losing zinc as the copper is being depleted or being lost to the tissues. Copper is a toxic metal when it is free and unbound. It's often a metal that many people are toxic with. Copper toxicity can induce symptoms such as anxiety, seizure disorders, premenstrual disorders in women, premenstrual syndrome. And there's a lot of literature that shows that copper toxicity can cause schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, ADD. There's strong implications of copper toxicity with cancer, with neurological diseases. So copper toxicity is a big issue. Your hair tissue mineral analysis is one of the best ways to test for copper toxicity, as well as what other minerals are doing at certain moments in time. So we also see here that this person has a low sodium to potassium ratio, which means that there's just too much adrenal activity that's going on. Second page of our hair analysis report is looking specifically at these 5 toxic elements: lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, and aluminum. It's going to be different with each person relative to each person's exposure. Some people have a lot of cadmium or mercury or lead, other people don't. This individual had a lot of aluminum that they started dumping, and as you look at the previous test, you see 1.81 was the aluminum excretion. Now it's at 2.23. So whatever they've been doing protocol-wise has been helping to move these toxic metals out of the body, which is a good thing. So we see this big movement of aluminum. We see a little bit of arsenic coming out of the hair as well. We see, again, this Na to K ratio at the bottom of the page is currently at 1.0. The ideal is about 2.5, 2.5. This indicates that there's just too much adrenal activity going on. So the hair test is a phenomenal test for getting some really important, hard to detect data on toxic metals, on nutrient mineral activity, on the relationship between certain mineral ratios. So this is really, really an excellent test that is one of the major components of the health screening package. Okay, and then lastly here, you get a full analysis of all of the 3 different tests, the metabolic typing report, the blood chemistry analysis, as well as the hair tissue mineral analysis. Also included in this report PDF that you receive via email is your nutrient food recommendations as well as your nutritional supplementation recommendations. So as you see here, first page is an overview of what is found in the blood chemistry report, a little discussion on cholesterol and its important roles in the body. Look at other factors such as the triglycerides. Whatever comes up on the blood chemistry report is what's being discussed and explained here in this PDF summation. And then the second part, of course, is the summary of the metabolic typing test, which again we see this page 3 recommendations here, this page 3 results indicating fast oxidation dominance. We'll even create this nice little easy to follow spectrum of possibilities for human metabolism to understand what protein type metabolism actually means, why it's important, what it looks like. Next page we're going to look at the protein type food chart, which in the consultation that you receive, this 2-hour consult, you're going to get a nice analysis of all the major foods for your metabolic type, the ways to combine these foods that you should be cautious with, such as these higher carb foods if you're in protein type metabolism. Also, we're going to look at the hair analysis report and all of the findings that come up with that, summation of what those hair test results indicated. Last section is on protocol supplementation based upon the findings of the blood test, the metabolic typing report, as well as on the hair tissue mineral analysis, really depending on each individual. That's the key with the health screening package. It's a highly individualized assessment. We're looking at all of these essential factors. We're looking at adrenal, thyroid, blood sugar, metabolic functions, food. We're looking at pH activity. We're looking at digestion. We're looking at GI inflammation. We're looking at everything as much as we possibly can. And we're putting together some of the most intelligently designed, individualized nutritional protocols that we could possibly think of in order to really get a person onto a very high level of health. So in summary here, the Metabolic Healing Health Screening Package is a very powerful, comprehensive assessment tool. We're utilizing 3 very important individualized assessments. We're looking at metabolic typing, we're looking at functional blood chemistry analysis, we're looking at hair tissue mineral analysis, and we're also looking at a comprehensive assessment of many biological functions and organs and systems of the body, many of which we've talked about here in this sample analysis. We're doing personalized consulting, so when we get your results back, you're going to do a one-on-one consultation with us. These can be done anywhere from a distance. We use internet technology to have this done. And the ultimate goal here is to construct powerful nutritional therapies in order to generate and rebuild health and rebuild the body. And we truly believe that food is medicine, that nutritional therapy is really where it's at. This is the best strategy for helping you to meet your health goals. So thanks for listening today. Again, my name is Michael McEvoy. I'm the head nutritionist at metabolichealing.com. Please go to my website, metabolichealing.com, to learn more. And you can also email us if interested in purchasing the health screening package, info@metabolichealing.com. Best in health. Thanks for tuning in.